Welcome back to the Sports Bar. I'm MJ.
I'm Ji Hae.
Here combining two of our most favorite things. What are they?
Drinking and sports, mainly drinking, yay! Tell us what do we have, MJ?
We have a king/royal infused and inspired whiskey shot.
Yay!
Yay!
You know how we like our whiskey, people.
Yes.
Whiskey. We need to venture out, but I don't want to.
Well, once you commit to something, you can really get into trouble.
Yeah,
if
you
you
gotta
venture
commit
too far. You know, things get a little messy.
But speaking of messy, this next topic that we're about to cheers to has some juiciness to it, right?
It's basketball, and I know something. You know, it's juicy.
Yum.
Yes.
So, in honor of the Crown Royal shot that we just consumed,
King James.
King James. Oh yes.
Apparently, the court is not being kind to the king. His complaints also. So there's two sides to this. Is LeBron not getting calls that other players would? I think absolutely. Is he going about fixing it in the best way by calling it out?
I think that some of his arguments are founded, for sure. Him going to the basket 100 times, I mean, come on, bro, calm it down. But LeBron is complaining about not getting certain calls when he is going to the line an exorbitant amount of times.
Absolutely.
Yes, he 100%, he averages going to the basket at least a little over 11 times a game. He also, the numbers were the same last year as well.
Yeah.
But this year he's getting one less free throw per game average. So if you look that up on a little sheet, it's really, he's getting 6 instead of 7. When he was early on in his career, when he was a rookie, which the numbers actually should be completely polar opposite,
right.
He was getting more attempts at the free throw line. And I think he got a little used to that,
Very
to that
true.
like King James kind of LeBron-esque treatment, that Michael Jordan-esque treatment, without really truly earning it, I guess. He was quoted in an interview, which this line is epic, saying that the league is definitely a shooter's protective league, kind of like protecting the quarterback in the NFL. You're protecting the shooter because you don't want to undercut the shooter. You don't want to injure them for the rest of the year, like Kawhi Leonard was injured during the playoffs by Ji. And so he thinks that people that actually do sacrifice their bodies and going to the rack are not getting those calls. And he also said, in respect to that chicks dig the long ball, which, fuck yeah, chicks dig the long ball. But you know what one of my favorites said on Around the Horn? Jackie McMullen, big props to this woman from the Boston Globe. She said that this girl, Jackie McMullen, particularly digs the forearm shiver. And for those that do not know what the forearm shiver is, it's some old school ass shit, and I love it. Because you know what, LeBron, you need to check your balls, and just man up. The forearm shiver is basically like, I'm gonna go to the rack and nobody's gonna stop me. And he's going to take his forearm out, and if you're gonna try and cross that forearm and try to go and foul him, you better foul him really fucking hard, because he's coming at you with the same force, if not more. And that's what old school basketball used to be. That used to be the Charles Barkley era. Like, if Rodman was gonna foul you, he's gonna foul you fucking hard. If Rodman was gonna go to the hole, he's gonna go to the hole hard. If Shaq is a different situation, because he is 7'3", over 300 pounds, so that's kind of, you can't really compare the two. But at the same time, are his arguments founded? LeBron, going back to the situation at hand, are LeBron's complaints founded? A little bit.
Yeah, his free throws per game are definitely not adding up to the amount of time he plays compared to other players. He's getting less free throws and playing far more minutes. And I mean, I get it. I look at him. He is, even in a league of tall, absolutely genetically gifted, possibly the next step people, he does still stand out. He's just a thick
he's LeBron James, people.
Yeah.
When he came into the league at, 18, 19 years old, he looked like a man. He didn't look like a little boy.
Yeah, there was no, like, Brandon Ingram or...
No. He didn't need to gain weight.
Yeah.
He didn't need to, get thicker and bigger and more muscular. He was already there.
Yeah, very much. I'm looking back, I can never remember LeBron James not looking like LeBron James,
But with that said, also, you have to take into consideration that y'all need to stop bitching like every 2 seconds,
The
man.
bitching is getting old.
It's getting really
getting
old. Like, you know, I get it. You know, it's a former collegiate basketball player. It sucks when you go to the rim and you get hammered and you don't get the call. 100% agree with you. But you're not going to get every call. It's just not. And you also get better. What's the saying? You attract more bees with honey than you do with vinegar.
Absolutely, it's a saying I live my life by.
And maybe, look, Mr. LeBron James and other players, Russell Westbrook, you should be attracting refs with a little bit more honey. You should be treating them like human beings. Treat the media like human beings. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
But and complaining and bitching, and I don't know, like, maybe in your world it's gotten you a lot of places, you know, like, and who's to say
I mean,
that
there is
isn't a
squeaky wheel gets the grease,
For
but
sure.
LeBron, come on, you
Every
do so
single play.
well at so many things.
And every single play. And this isn't just, you know, a dig on LeBron. This is a dig on all NBA players out there in general.
Y'all are starting to look like soccer players, honestly.
Oh, dude, and you're not even trying to dive. It's like, well, actually, maybe you are trying to dive.
I've seen some dives this year. I've seen diving. I'm like,
Yeah, it's time to just play some hard ass basketball. I know some of you think that you already do, but maybe you should watch film. Go watch some film from like 1970 to the 1990s and maybe early 2000s-ish.
Film.
And
VHS that bitch.
Seriously, dude, old school that shit. Dude, vinyl's coming back, by the way, speaking of old school. But speaking of coming back, thank you so much, you guys, for coming back to the sports bar, listening to us rant and bitch like NBA players.
With an increasing blood alcohol content, it just goes up and up and up, and so do our wonderfully witty remarks.
Our retorts.
Hopefully you're joining us in the cocktail consumption. Otherwise, we're going to look like a bunch of alcoholics.
But
which we're not.
we will say this. Please be over 21, which we haven't said this whole entire time.
Or in any country other than Canada, or other than the U.S.
Other than the U.S.
Yeah.
Be 19 or over.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
be legal if you're going to be
Legal,
drinking at a bar and
wherever
drinking
you
with
are.
us. You know, we don't want any liabilities here.
No, really, it's that.
We still do want you to follow us on every single social media site that we possibly have out there. You'll see it at the bottom.
We don't have Tumblr. We're considering it. Let us know. Is Tumblr something you need?
Oh, I don't know. Let us know, actually. Do you want us on Tumblr? Let us know in the comment section on the bottom.
Great
Ooh,
Tumblr.
that's a great idea, actually. Look at Smarty over here off the dome.
I don't know how it works, but that's how people talk about it.
But thank you again so much for watching the Sports Bar here in lovely Manhattan Beach at the Downstairs Bar. We love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. More drinking to come. Check it out.